All right, welcome everyone. I fully forgot to change the name. All right, there we go. All right, welcome everyone. It is Sunday once again, and we are back to play more Honkai Star Rail. So per usual, here are the events going on. We have Seal Slammers. We have a month to complete this. We'll see if we get to it in time. In a timely manner, if we cram it in right at the end. There is an exciting fact that this is a new pet, apparently, that can go out in the world with us once you complete this event. The current Trailblaze mission is focusing on Castorice and Anaxagrius, which is interesting because I'm sure Castorice is going to play a heavy part in this because we just learned that we've been dead the entire time we've been on Amphoris. That was something to find out. Per usual, they're doing if you're haven't played in a hot minute and you have a friend that, or if you have a friend who hasn't played in a hot minute, they will, and you can invite them to play the game again. They'll get Stellar Jade, and you'll also get, essentially, you'll get Stellar Jade as well. Castorice's banner is still ongoing, followed by Fugu, Jiao Chao, and Acheron. And then just as a reminder, next banner will be Anaxagrius and Dr. Ratio. So we did our pulls already, and we lost the 50-50 for those who don't remember. Apocalypse Shadow reset. I have not done that yet. The Divergent Universe is still ongoing. Simulated Universe, of course, and the anniversary event, Star Rail World, which will be available for the rest of the month. We'll pop in real quick just to show you all where I am. I am on Exhibition Day 12. And I am currently, like, kind of middle of the road. Like, I'm not making huge leaps and bounds since the last time you all saw me, because it's very expensive to upgrade them at this point, so it's pretty slow going. But yeah, if you want to keep doing this, I've already maxed all of it out, so I imagine a lot of people will max it out and then stop playing it. I just want to know what the max level for assistants are. I keep looking it up online to see if someone's figured out what the max level is, and I still haven't found anyone who's maxed them out. So yeah, so those are the ongoing events. Honestly, I don't know, even with the new seal, I honestly do think that our little Nightmare Eater is still super cute compared to that seal, Chimera seal, so we'll have to see once we get there. I think that's pretty much all I have for you all. I don't think there's anything else. So let us get back to that story. So we were going to say hi to Castorice, I believe, after finding out that we have been a memory we're essentially a memory meme currently, is our existence. And so we were going to Castorice as the person who works with the Death Titan, to see if maybe they have some ideas on what we can do, because apparently we have to cheat death similar to how Mighty cheated death, to be able to reclaim our life.
Mister, I'm right here.
You hear soft steps coming closer, one step at a time.
Please stay there and slowly turn around.
For some reason, you feel you have seen this scene before. You want to turn your head, but you glimpse a dash of purple brushing past your face, and then a chill seeps through your skin, spreading into your veins. Thump, thump, your heart begins to slow. Spin around immediately and give her a scare. Aside from your vision, your senses grow more acute. You feel the presence of the purple sea. And then...
Please pardon me.
A subtle fragrance of an unnamed flower fills your senses, its sweetness making you forget the need to breathe. You realize that you are still alive. No, to be more precise, your death was not thorough. The coldness of the initial touch dispersed as quickly as it came, and replacing it is a touch of fingertips and a tremble born of trepidation that originated from a certain lanky arm. Her quivering finger gently brushed against your cheek, causing a faint tickle.
Just as I expected. I cannot feel anything. Back at the Grove, I was puzzled as to why you were not affected by my curse. I thought that it might have been the special ability of a traveler from beyond the sky. Never did I expect that this would be the true reason. I'm sorry. I should have noticed that something was amiss earlier. Mister, if my abrupt behavior just now offended you, I hope that you can forgive me. I'm just thinking, if your soul has really left your body, as a mortician, I might be able to trace where it has gone to.
Cass, did you find anything?
My apologies. Not as of yet. Perhaps I have overestimated my capabilities. But, mister, would you be willing to let me try again? This time, I'll increase the area of contact slightly. Perhaps the result might be different this time. I have never touched the living in this way before. If my actions are in any way disrespectful, I hope that you can forgive me.
Castorice once again places her palm on your face. Her shivers calm somewhat this time.
I seem to have caught a glimpse of something. Your soul is currently roaming someplace and cannot find a way to escape. But perhaps it might not be a bad thing. If your soul is still wandering around, it means that we still have time. We have a chance to find it before the fingers of Thanatos sweep everything away. Clues. Just a few more. I need more guidance. The connection has been severed. With my strength, I'm not able to trace it. It was me. I was a little too hasty. Don't worry, mister. Although we currently have no leads, I will do my best to search for the whereabouts of Thanatos, bring back their core flame, and personally return to you the life that you have lost too soon. I know that I'm lacking in confidence, but I hope that you can keep this promise of mine in mind. Before I manage to deliver on this promise, please do your best to hang on. Amphorius needs you. Lady Aglaya and Lord Finon are currently discussing some matters in the paths. They're worried about you too. If possible, please go there and let them know that you're well. Although, I don't actually know whether your current situation can be described as well. Also, please accept this Styxian fable. Reading can help one to focus and relax. I hope that reading this can help tide you through this difficult period.
More and more species are disappearing.
Lady Aglaya and Lord Finon are currently...
My brain always wants to just walk there, but I'm like, it would be faster to teleport. Hello, 'tis I.
They're here.
Partner! Hyacinth said you definitely wake up. How do you feel?
Fine on, you should not go into acting.
Well, at least you look no different from the living. I think that most living people don't even look as good as you do.
Fine on, I love you. Oh, that's so funny. He's like, you look great.
You've completed the trial of time. And I have to admit that the process went better than I expected. Even in the end, that Titan's heart still showed a soft spot for humankind. However, I never expected that. Two people who have cheated death would appear in Akima at the same time.
That's what we have been talking about. Mighty has been in Akima for such a long time, but has no one thought to study his indestructible body? If there were even any minor breakthroughs, we wouldn't be as clueless as we are right now.
Many have had this idea, but so far, there have been no results. If it were successful, Thanatos wouldn't have disappeared without a trace. Nevertheless, now is not the time for us to give up. At the very least, we can still see a glimmer of hope, Cypher. If anyone in this world knows the whereabouts of death, it would be her. I'll try and get her to return to Akima, but do be prepared for a less than ideal outcome. Please understand that throughout the history of Amphorius, no one has ever managed to escape the clutches of death. At the end of time, Thanatos silently awaits all. It is my duty. We too require you to bear the divine position of time. But before that, just...
What's wrong, Aglaya?
Omens always come in pairs. A tiny air current will eventually brew into a storm that tears the sky apart. It's Anaxagoras. He has initiated contact with the Council of Elders.
In the end, it has still come down to this.
I earnestly hope that your assessment of him is accurate, Finan. Otherwise, the efforts of my teacher and I of the past millennium might be reduced to dust because of that great performer.
Man, Anaxagoras has to be some kind of masked fool. Like, they keep making gesture commentary when referring to him. Like, I get that, like, the Eons have had minimal influence on Amphorius, but, like, the Titans call, as shown by the Orynyx calling Fuli father, right? That the Eons do influence the Titans, and so therefore have influenced Amphorius. But like the Great Performer, like all these titles they keep giving him just give him such masked fool energy. Oh, Anaxagoras is not long ago.
I'm back here again. I remember this dream. This realm is covered in a silk-like fog, and the land is barren and harsh. The crowd of travelers leaves tracks everywhere.
Hey! Excuse me! What is this place? Where in Amphorius are we?
The mutters of the traveler are in a language I'm unable to comprehend. Or perhaps they're just distracted and ignored my question.
Tell me, which Titan reigns over this land? And how do I find them?
Hand of Shadow.
Hand of Shadow Thanatos. Could this possibly be the Netherrealm?
Not Netherrealm.
Limbo? In between realm?
Then where is this? River of Souls? The outskirts of the Netherrealm? Are you heading downstream toward the Netherrealm?
The Netherrealm. Nothing but an illusion, Titan. Rejects you. Me. Listen.
What? The traveler lifts their wrinkled fingers and remains silent. I look in the direction they are pointing and listen closely. There. A massive shadow brought the sound of rushing tides. The sound of tides. I can hear it.
Isn't the Chrysos heir who is in charge of the Titan of Water dead? Is that what they're referring to?
I hear it, deep within the tides. Beyond the closed gates of the void world, a voice, about to recount something.
Child of humanity, is it death's embrace you yearn for with such urgency? Oh, you have awoken. Welcome back to the mortal realm. Your consciousness is dissipating much faster than I expected. Ultimately, it seems like the Titan's core flame is incompatible with a mortal body.
How much longer can my consciousness remain in the mortal realm?
In my estimation, at best, you'll see 15 more entry hours.
15 days and nights.
What is it? Are you finally starting to become attached to the mortal world now?
On the contrary, 15 days feels a little too long for solving a singular problem. Stop giggling. It's time for us to go. The messenger from the Council of Elders is almost here.
Let me ask you one more question. Are you really planning to betray Aglaya's will?
What betrayal is there to speak of when I was never loyal to her to begin with?
What about that white-haired student of yours? Acting so recklessly, do you not care about what might happen to him?
There will be a price to pay for blind faith. This is also a lesson for Finan.
You truly are a strict teacher.
Of course. This is how I've always been.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Lord Enexag. It's been a while, Lord Enexagaris. I greet you on behalf of all the citizens of Akima, and express my deepest regret about what happened at the Grove of Epiphany.
It's you. I never expected that you would personally come and meet me.
By carefully into Lantern above, I have come as a testament to the justice of the Council of Elders.
There are Anti-Catherians here? They have been a rare sight ever since the Chrysos War.
I extend to you my utmost respect, revered Titan. I am Lycurgus, though you may call me Lygus, holding an honorary position within the Council of Elders in Akima, and as the Theoros, I stand to protect the right of all upright citizens to express themselves freely.
You can see them too?
You know about us. We Anti-Catherians perceive the world through the amplitude and frequency of souls. Just as I am conscious that Lady Aglaya is secretly listening in on our private meeting from afar. If necessary, Lord Enexagaris, I can sever the golden thread to protect your fundamental rights.
The demigod should know better, for such is her station. Spare those poor threads, and just let her listen to my words. They shall serve only to unveil her own folly.
May I interpret this as you have a countermeasure?
I need not any plan, because she can do nothing other than petty espionage. As the Citizens' Assembly approaches, and with Orynyx's fall, any attempt to capture the core flame within me will only usher chaos and calamity. A truth she undoubtedly comprehends. While I, Enexagaris, serving as the Grove's special envoy to Akima's Citizens' Assembly, have long known the extent of your abilities. Let's forego the formality of asserting authority, Lord Lygus. Lead the way.
Very well. Surely Lady Kindness would appreciate such assertiveness in an ally. She's been waiting. Follow me, please. Is there something on your mind, Lord Anaxagoras?
Nothing, really. It's just a question that I contemplate every time before I ascend to Dawncloud. For the Titans, does the falling equate to death?
Ah, a pondering truly deep. Time is on our side. Do you mind sharing your reflections with me?
While all living beings must ultimately face their demise, Kefali has yet to meet theirs. Their journey continues unhurriedly along this long path.
Are you suggesting that Kefali may not have truly passed?
Yes. For dying implies an ongoing process, an action. Whereas death signifies a static state, a definitive termination. In contrast to mortals, Titans exist on a grander scale of space and time, thus elongating their passage into death. The notion of their fall is but a misinterpretation born of mortal ignorance.
Ah, an intriguing concept, albeit challenging to substantiate. After all, Kefali has maintained a profound silence ever since the era Arasa, while scholars and priests alike have conveyed the message of the gods' imminent fall.
I wondered where this voice sounded like to me. If anyone's watched like the original Yu-Gi-Oh, with at least the Pegasus arc, this man sounds like Pegasus to me.
Perhaps the gods in their arrogance deemed it beneath them to reveal their perspectives to mortals.
Could you elaborate on your statement?
Circes, the kin of the Skyfather as recounted in myths, now resides within my brain. Were I to inquire, Kefali would have no cause to refuse.
Oh.
That very well could be true. But what if the world-bearing Titan still chooses to remain silent?
In that case, the myths crafted by the people of Amphorius are nothing more than pitiful jests.
It's worth a try. I believe, and I'd love to witness the fruits of your theory and the change it may bring to this imperiled world, because I completely concur with you on this aspect. If the Titan has indeed met their end, any response from them would be impossible. Please, Professor.
The children of humanity have indeed created a spectacle.
Welcome to Dawncloud. The atmosphere here carries a greater sense of solemnity than the mundane clamor of the Marmorial Palace, with entry permitted only to the invited. Only esteemed beings grace this place, and among them I've received priests, scholars, warriors, and now we even have the honor to be in the presence of a Titan. Oh, what a joyous occasion.
Once deemed a blasphemer, now a surrogate for revered divinity. The honor should rightfully be mine, shouldn't it?
I'll notify Kindness and the others of your arrival. Kindly wait for a moment. A soldier will be here to guide you shortly. In the meanwhile, you're welcome to explore the vicinity, but kindly remain within the guard's view. Delaying the crucial meeting is something none of us wish to see, I presume.
I'm well aware of Kindness's methods. There's no need to emphasize that.
As you wish. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Alas, I had hoped for a brilliant plan from you, but it turns out you just left one cage to enter another.
Save your concerns. I know very well what I'm doing.
I shall depart to explore the surroundings then. Now that I look around, I wonder if there are any murals bearing my portrait around here. I'm quite intrigued to see how the children of humanity beyond the grove perceive another Titan.
Off you go. I won't be joining you. This Titan appears to be quite at ease. I should investigate the Council of Elders' recent activities first.
Be aware. I can hear you perfectly well from here.
I forgot this man wields a gun.
Professor Anaxa! Over here!
Alright. 7. So I probably need it to get here while I'm over here to drop down and then have it move over to the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that wasn't enough. So 1. If I do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay. Perfect.
I suppose I can just ignore this.
Professor Anaxa? Word has it that the scholars of the Grove valiantly perished resisting the Black Tide. To find you here safe and sound, thank the Fates.
You could say it's the Fates toying with us.
It only the Kremnoans and Idonians who chase glory through death. But your survival is a victory in itself. I'd settle for that gladly. So, are you here to report the incident to the council? I heard that after the Black Tide devoured the grove, Akuma would be next in line, even with the demigod of strife standing alongside humankind.
Tell me, how much does the Council of Elders know about the Black Tide?
Once Kindness and her followers learned of Circe's and Orynyx's fall, they proclaimed in the council that the Flame Chasers could no longer stand against the calamity alone. Yet, when the Crown Prince ascended to godhood and repelled the Black Tide, she immediately altered her tune, declaring that all was resolved beyond Akuma, with the only remaining menace now being Aglaya and her adherents. They might well make their move at the upcoming Citizens' Assembly.
No surprises there, those shifty opportunists. Thank you for your honesty, virtuous student.
Being an opportunist could very well be a facet of wisdom.
Shouldn't you be searching for murals of yourself? I've had enough of your prattling.
I was really curious to see how you would find the middle ground between both factions, so I came to listen in. But it seems as though this Kindness is much more ruthless than Aglaya. If so, why do you want to work with her? Could it be that perhaps you've decided to readily surrender this hollow shell of yours, just because you feel like death is fast approaching?
I'm afraid you'll be sorely disappointed if that's what you truly think. Go melt it down.
Even blasphemous scholars can come here, it seems.
What? Looks like my presence here is quite unwelcome.
Okay, so Anaxagrius has like an AoE attack. Got it. Ooh, fun shape. Okay.
If Circe saw this puzzle, they'd die from laughter. I suppose I can just ignore this.
Not my guy, just making fun of how simple the puzzle is. That's kind of funny, honestly.
Go melt it down.
Anaxagorus, I thought that you had died to the Black Tide, just like the other scholars.
As Kephales's priest, are you not aware of the decorum of respecting the dead?
Surely you jest. You blasphemous heretics are not worthy of respect from the Supreme Being. Let me remind you that you're currently in Dawn Cloud, so you'd better keep your deranged language to yourself. I am no longer that altar servant from years ago who could only acquiesce to the commands of others. Now, I have plenty of ways to deal with people like you.
I'm not sure whether I should laugh or cry right now. I can't believe that a follower such as you could have been made by a creation titan. As I see it, a dead titan can't provide you with this level of confidence, right? Then who is it exactly? Could it be Kindness?
You. Seeing how fond of you Elder Kindness is, I shall let that slide for now. Leave immediately, and don't impede us from receiving the Supreme Being's blessings.
Seeing as we were able to hear of this matter from the mouths of others, it seems that Kindness is indeed quite sincere toward us. Perhaps this affair will proceed smoother than I had anticipated.
Oh my, what a thrilling confrontation. As expected of one of Kephales's followers.
Are you praising or insulting him?
Praising him, of course. As a believer of the god of deliverance, It is only natural that he detests evil.
Didn't you hear me? I asked you to leave. Go as far away from here as possible. Don't mutter to yourself like some sort of madman and disturb my meditation.
I've had enough of this. Could the 15th entry hour arrive any faster?
Oh my. He's delightful, Your Honor.
Oh, my. Could it be that the great tree painted in this mural is actually depicting
Me?
Every plant, every tendril, no, even every leaf could be the embodiment of Circe's.
As a result, mere mortals who did not know what the Titan actually looked like chose to paint them as a giant tree instead. Their wisdom was portrayed as fruit, to symbolize how they shared their knowledge equally among the masses. Such exquisiteness indeed.
This mural is quite abstract.
I really can't tell whether you are praising or demeaning yourself. Now I'm quite curious whether the Reason Titan has studied figures of speech before.
Of course I find such stylistic devices interesting. For all we know, this could be the answer to the question, what exactly are we?
I, for one, am not willing to admit that I could look this ugly.
Oh my gosh, I love him.
Was this the reason why you failed in your attempt to refine my soul when you were ambushed at the Grove?
Since you are aware of this, why did you save me back then?
From my perspective, this point alone was enough to separate you from the average person.
How do two lunatics coexist in the same brain?
Therefore, it seems that your journey to Dawncloud this time is not just to seek protection. What, then, is the intention behind your actions?
The entire plan is stored in my memory. So why don't you look there?
Then don't mind if I do. 1 year old? 2 years old? Oh my! Even a member of the preeminent Seven Sages must hug his Dromastal to sleep? How interesting.
That's enough.
How unusual. Your soul is actually trembling. This must mean that behind this toy hides a secret that nobody knows, right?
Since our days are both numbered, I don't mind telling you more about it. This is a present that my sister gave to me. It's a doll that was made to look like our family pet.
So there are other members in your family, eh? Are they also living in Akama?
Don't you just love to pick through my brain? Go on, continue flipping through my memories. It won't take long. You'll discover the answer when you reach the memories of when I was 5.
Oh, the black tide is everywhere. I can't bear to look.
When I was young, I couldn't accept this outcome either. Georios, Aquila, Kefali, and you, of course. Although I prayed to every Titan that I could think of for help, my efforts were ultimately futile.
This... Could this be the inception of your research into alchemy?
Indeed it was. Everything started from that verdant courtyard of yours. When I was pursuing my education there, I naturally also came to learn of the Thesis' theory as well.
Oh, I remember that person. He was the one to come up with the concept of souls, right?
Not only that, he also believed that life, as well as the composition, movement, and transformation of matter, all stem from souls themselves. This is why I thought that since all living things stemmed from the same origin, why could I not sacrifice myself in order to resurrect my nearest and dearest?
Anaxa, you...
I did it, teacher! But this is absolute blasphemy. Regardless of how much freedom the Grove provides, such an act could cause you to be burned at the pyre. Your beloved, where is she now? Send her away from the Grove at once. to a place where nobody will ever be able to find her. Otherwise, the both of us will be judged by the Council of the Seven Sages.
Calm down, teacher. My sister, she's still not in the mortal realm. Even to this day.
What do you mean?
It was naive of me to think that I could snatch the deceased from Thanatos' grip by merely sacrificing one eye. Equivalent exchange. All I received for that price was but an opportunity to see her for one final time. Nothing more.
I'm getting Full Metal Alchemist vibes from this.
Let it go, Anaxa. As one of my best students, I cannot watch you go down the wrong path without doing anything to stop it. Never do something taboo ever again. Don't disappoint the deceased, and never harm yourself. If you can do that, this classroom will still be yours, and you'll have a chance to live out your own life.
Since I was able to see her one last time, I have no other desires. You're right, teacher. It's time for me to start a new life.
I am sincerely glad for you, child. Now then, what topic would you like to study?
I wish to continue Thalesis' research.
Continue the research into souls, but you know that the Grove has long since understood his philosophy like the back of their hands. Even if you continue digging into this subject, your efforts will likely be futile.
No, teacher. After my fleeting glimpse of the deathly fog, I finally understood a single truth. Since ancient days, our understanding of the souls is but the tip of the iceberg. I may have lost an eye, but my view of the world has become clearer than ever. I have grasped the truth with my bare hands. Watch as I turn this farcical world upside down.
Who would have thought such a secret lay concealed beneath that hefty eye patch of yours? However, this story doesn't seem to be connected to your plan. In fact, I'd say that they aren't related at all.
The answer lies within the tale. If even you cannot understand it, perhaps you should relinquish the divinity of reason to me. After all, it'd be a waste for you to hold on to it.
Okay, real quick, I had to take a quick break. Gotta go check in on something. I'll be right back. But I will state, he really went like equivalent exchange. I really feel like he's going to sacrifice Cersei's, the Titan of Reason, to resurrect his family. That's where I think this is going. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Testing, testing. I'm just suggesting. Okay, cool. So we are back out. Thank you all so much for waiting. I'll probably be setting another alarm for an hour. So just as a little heads up that will be happening. Let's see. Just get that set up now so that I don't have to think about it. There we go. All right.
My story ends here. Now it's time for you to tell me your secret. After all, this is what equivalent exchange means, correct?
As expected, you laid a trap for me to step into. Unfortunately, even if I was willing to talk about my past, I may not know more about it than you do.
Oh? Are you saying that the renowned Reason Titan is now admitting a lack of wisdom? Your followers are going to be sorely disappointed by this.
Child of humanity, remember this. Being cognizant of one's ignorance is the greatest wisdom of all.
Now I understand. No wonder you asked me to answer your random, nonsensical question.
Not only that, you're the only one who can shed light on my query. As the saying goes, onlookers see most clearly.
Is that so?
Lord Anaxa. I saw you muttering to yourself and was wondering whether you were caught in a delirium of reflective thought. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but time is of the essence.
It's just like, so you might have been deep in your philosophy thoughts, but, you need to come back to the present now, please, thanks.
I have a message from Lord Lygus. Lady Kindness has met up with the Council of Elders and is awaiting your arrival, so please depart forthwith.
It's finally time.
Carefully. The one who created the world, and the one who bears the world. If you truly have not met your end, how will you answer the challenges of those who defy you?
I didn't expect you to agree to Lady Kindness's invitation. What a wonderful turn of events. To tell you the truth, there are many people who hold grudges against that Lady Goldweaver.
Alright, there does not seem to be anything.
That the dromas draped in finery?
Avoid his gaze. I don't acquaint myself with blasphemers.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry. He's too full of pride to pay us any attention.
Your nickname is Dromus as well? You must really like those creatures.
Here, the world-bearing Skyfathers spilled their golden blood into the mortal lake. I mean, well, I wouldn't quite know for sure, but like, if this is actually Kefali, like the solidified body of Kefali and not like a monument made to him, wouldn't the fact that he's still bleeding give thought to the fact that he's still alive? No words ever break the solemn silence, and the volcano heart beats no more. Also, volcanoes, if he's related to a volcano, like, volcanoes go into hibernation. Like, that's just how they work before they explode. Follow me, sailor. How many waves have we braved, and how many reefs have we crossed? Surely you remember those nights we watched on the mast, the pure moonlight spilling over the sails, the ship rocking gently as it glided across the dark sea. In those moments, I even dreamed of becoming a hero. Did you feel the same? Yes, yes. So now we finally setting sail again. Are you ready, sailors? I can't hear you. Oh no, not the SpongeBob reference. That's funny. Anyway. It's like, I don't associate myself with blasphemers. Don't the Council of Elders technically count as like blasphemers in that sense?
A student of Empedocles? I hear that his views run counter to the Venerationists.
This is what being a scholar is about. A collision of ideas only occurs when there are differences in beliefs, and it is such collisions that lead to progress.
Yet, in my view, there are only right and wrong perspectives, neither of which can coexist with the other.
What radical thinking. I guess this is why the children of humanity always squabble with each other.
How boring.
You seem to be avoiding that Goldweaver person. Why don't you address her face to face?
I have nothing to talk about with her. Since you're in my brain, you can look for the reason yourself.
Oh, the leader of the Flame Chase journey and a demigod of Nestia.
Lord Lygus and Lady Kindness are just ahead. I'll take my leave for now.
Okay. Let me do a circuit of this very pretty garden. Only found one of those butterflies so far. Alright, what are we doing here? We have 7 moves. And then we need this to be... We need to pull the sheep ram thing down here to unlock this so we can get over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I see that I have issues if I do that. Alright, so if I go here... Oh, I keep forgetting. No, I was right. Oh, I forgot they would move off the button for a second. Alright, let's try this again. So we can't go over here. No, okay. Wait a minute. Alright, so obviously if we do it this way, it doesn't work. If we stand on the button, they'll fall off if we do one move here. If we're on the button there, they'll drop through. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, because I have to get down there, because... And I don't need them walking off the edge either. So if we drop them down, they'll be here. And then here. 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's the same thing. No. Wait. Oh, why is this one bothering me? I need them to stay on the button. Alright, We'll get this, I swear. No, that doesn't work. Oh. Oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? Maybe? I think I'm supposed to get it over to here. Oh wait, no, I get it. That took way longer than it needed to. It's like, please, Anaxagoras, don't make fun of me for that, taking that long on that puzzle.
Go melt it down.
That's an angle.
Welcome to the Demigod Council, esteemed guests.
Yeah, but none of you are demigods, except maybe Anaxagoras. An assembly for mortal debates, a theater under the gods' watch. Here at the center of all beings, we dare to listen, speak, and deliberate. Reason outrules established laws, and pronounce death. Oh gods, does this amuse you?
Lord Anaxagoras, oh, I've heard so much about you. Head of the Neusporists of the Grove of Epiphany, notorious blasphemer, a Chrysos heir who bears Circe's core flame, a survivor of the Grove calamity. Did I miss anything? Well, if so, please be so kind as to enlighten me.
Since Lady Kindness is already well acquainted with me, I won't waste any effort introducing myself again. But then again, perhaps the customs are different here. Back in my hometown, there is a form of etiquette known as honoring guests. The host will welcome their guest with warm hospitality by treating them to fine wine and a cozy bed. And yet, ever since I arrived, I have not been welcomed with warm courtesy or ceremonial gifts. Instead, I met with intense scrutiny. Even more absurd, the host has sharpened their blade and instructed their servants to lie in wait in the shadows. Perhaps you intend to cut open my heart, retrieve the core flame, and then hold a grand feast for all of the guests.
Everyone, stand down.
Thank you for understanding. I am but a feeble scholar who is not used to the stench of avarice and blood.
Alhaitham who? The whole feeble scholar bit. So delightful.
No need to be humble, my lord. From my perspective, your courage and gumption are worthy of the reputation of the Seven Sages. Your bravery is more than adequate to accomplish our perilous endeavor.
So, you wish to start a war?
Well, since the Chrysos heirs are calling for war, we will respond in kind. Conflict is inevitable. Since Aglaya endeavors to suppress the virtuous commoners with blood of gold, we will not hesitate to display the rights and mettle the citizens of Akama are so entitled to. As to your question of whether peace is still a viable option, well, to that I can only say this. Everything hinges on the next citizens' assembly and whether they have a sudden epiphany amid the clamor of the masses. And since you, as a Chrysos heir, accepted our invitation, you have indeed given us a glimmer of hope.
What brazen arrogance. What you're saying right now is worlds apart from what you were saying before you retired your cleaners.
I don't deny it. After all, they're responsible for cleaning up any threats, and just a moment ago, you were on the side of the Chrysos heirs. But now that you're an ally of ours, we can continue talking somewhere else. As you know, these walls have ears. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to discuss a treatise about the Venerationists with your teacher, Empedocles. Yet, it seems you subscribe to the Nusporists instead, Lord Anaxa. I've heard that this school of thought is one with many detractors.
It's normal for ideas to have supporters and dissenters, just like how there are two types of people in this world: geniuses and dimwits.
Welcome back to the hub of the Demigod Council, Lord Anaxagoras. Surely you remember that countless eloquent orators have stood in this spot before and emerged victorious by stoking public sentiment with their words. And yet there have also been innumerable blasphemous philosophers who set themselves up for failure because they refused to defend their actions. This tiny stage is the most profound embodiment of Akama in centuries. In 15 days, this site shall also become the most important, as well as the final turning point in Akama's history. May the both of us carry out our duties with honor and lead the masses back toward the Era Chrysia, a golden age with no death, strife, or trickery.
Oh my, 15 days and nights. That aligns perfectly with the date of your demise. Could such a coincidence truly exist?
Using death to prove myself fits my intentions perfectly.
What strong conviction you have. As expected of the hero who dared to stand up to the Gold Weaver.
As expected, she misunderstands you.
That's enough, Lady Kindness. Dispense with the niceties. I only accepted your invitation so that I can serve the commoners alongside the members of the Council of Elders. Don't test my patience with such superfluous formalities.
Well, you say that now, but surely you also require my aid as well. So that you can stay alive even when being pursued by the Golden Thread?
You worry too much. She won't show her hand too freely, as she still needs to garner support from the masses at the Citizens' Assembly.
Even someone like me can tell that only a sliver of her humanity remains. Surely you're not asserting that she will definitely act in a rational manner.
As you're no doubt aware, Aglaya covets the core flame that I possess, which makes it the bargaining chip that allows me and the rest of you to negotiate with her. However, in return, I'll need the Council of Elders to support me as much as possible. Naturally, this includes the guards as well. You're well aware how valuable Cersei's core flame will be in the era Chrysia that you are desperately pursuing. Talk is cheap, so you'd better act prudently as well.
I understand. After all, this battle of wits is just a means for each party to acquire what they need. As long as your request is reasonable, the Council of Elders never shortchanges its allies. Since we're both intent on mutual cooperation, let's not mince words and just speak plainly to each other. Let us decide how much we can secure for ourselves and how much we're willing to sacrifice, like true philosophers, with our words and wisdom. Continuing from the earlier topic, let us discuss our common enemy, Aglaya. She is the second most experienced Chrysos heir across the whole of Akama, who has gradually lost her humanity to the ravages of time and the ablation of the core flame. A formidable opponent indeed. Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite sound. As a seasoned political animal, it's unclear whether she will actually cross that irreversible boundary. Moreover, she still needs you alive so that the Titan's trial can be completed. Is there anyone present who can swear by the sacred vow of Kefali and guarantee that you weren't in league with that woman before coming here? Are you just trying to pull the wool over our eyes and aid her in her savagery?
I believe you're aware of Castorice the Executioner. Long before I returned to Akama, Aglaya had already dispatched her to monitor me. If I weren't able to reach this place in time, I would have been forced to meet Thanatos first. As compared to a comprehensive plan with uncertain results, if you decide to cut open my chest and remove the core flame, wouldn't that settle her nerves even more? Everything is in place. She just needs the right timing.
I understand what you mean. At the very least, the both of us agree that this tyrant who wallows in extravagance and greed is the greatest threat to achieving peace in Akama. The Council of Elders is willing to defend your right to live, just as we defend every oppressed citizen. However, I regret to say that sentiments in favor of the Chrysos heirs and Aglaya are only growing in magnitude. The peace that we are aspiring toward, as well as everything that we hold dear, will be destroyed completely. The city will be burned to ashes, and the citizens' blood will be shed. Tell me, what are you willing to do for our esteemed citizens so that they can vanquish the enemies of our fine city?
Aglaya's authoritarianism, conceit, and arrogance have granted her unfettered control for the most part. Yet these traits are also her greatest weakness. If I can render her helpless by forcing her to experience the agonizing pain of betrayal, I am certain she will never recover from such a setback.
Surely you don't believe that such a tiny betrayal will be enough to push her to her wit's end.
What's more, there are many who remain silent, merely watching to see how much chaos I can unleash. Not to mention, you know full well that the Chrysos heirs have never been a united front.
In the name of Kefali, Akama thanks you for your sincere and valuable thoughts. At this stage, it's clear that you and I understand the benefits to be won from this discussion. Let me put it plainly. The Council of Elders has always been renowned for its fairness, and that fairness is built on a foundation of sincerity. The Council of Elders has vowed to all citizens of Akaba that it will always remain loyal to them. As for you, my lord, how will you guarantee that you will be able to live up to such earnestness and will not betray Akama's indomitable citizens when the opportunity presents itself? Just as you now betray Aglaya when it suits you.
Surely you jest. My loyalty does not need to be proven. The fact that the Council of Elders is asking for proof of my loyalty is itself akin to a form of betrayal.
I am incredibly honored to have witnessed the both of you bury the hatchet in a civilized manner. However, I am afraid that I must interrupt for a brief moment. As the Theoros, I have observed the following. Lady Aglaya, the Goldweaver, is currently on her way to Dawncloud.
Oh. Well, I do believe that we might have a slight overabundance of guests today.
Feeling dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the Council of Elders' lofty residence on Dawncloud, it must still tolerate the whims of the Chrysos heirs.
So you were holding back just now. Seems like you are better at playing this game than I. In any case, I'm glad that she's arriving here. So tell me, Anaxagoras, now that you're an ally of mine, if Aglaya were to demand that I hand you over, what should I do?
You can do as she says. Tell her that the Council of Elders merely wished to chat with me and had no intention of offending her. However, by doing so, the authority of the Council of Elders will be as thin as papyrus that has been soaked in blood. Not only can it be destroyed at the slightest touch, but the Council will also lose possession of a valuable core flame. No, more like 2 core flames. After all, at the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is synonymous with death will also be standing on our side.
Oh? How can you be sure of that?
Is that of importance to you? All you need to know is that I have a plan. In my opinion, you should be more worried about the impending threat. If Aglaya can seize me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire Council of Elders in one fell swoop tomorrow. If that happens, the discussion that we've just had will turn into an utter joke instead. Is this the outcome that you wish to see, Lady Kindness?
Fine. I will handle this matter appropriately. But you do best to remember this. Fool the people and karma will be on your tail. I'll overlook it this time, but don't count on there being a next time. Unless, of course, you crave cruel punishment and consider suffering the perfect state to ponder the true nature of souls.
Well, what do you know? That happens to be one of my rare talents.
We shall see, then.
I've got to say that you've managed to really impress me again. But shouldn't you be going after more?
Dying to know what I'm after.
I mean, I'm the reason Titan after all. It is in me to ask and seek answers.
Easy there. You'll learn the answers soon enough. I didn't bring it up with her purely because she doesn't have the means to give me what I truly want. It's as they say, onlookers see most clearly. The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the Theoros, who watches over everything.
Alright, so I think I came from that direction. So let's go over here. Let's see, so obviously the biggest one needs to be there.
Just an answer. Nothing too difficult. I suppose I can just ignore this. Go melt it down.
An expected visitor. Welcome once again. You know, you could actually skip all the pointless debate and come straight to me to seek an audience with Kefali. I have no reason to refuse you. Do I?
You may not, but kindness has. Whoever gets hold of Kefali's core flame will get to rule over Akama. She's wary of me, so naturally I had to gain her trust. I would say that debate was not at all pointless.
Very true.
In my view, this individual has gone to great lengths to get close to Kefali. He might very well be plotting something nefarious against the Titan. Are you still willing to let him pass, knowing this?
Yes, very much so. All living creations are always free to visit Kefali's transcendent vessel. This comes with being the World-Bearer.
How convenient it is to be able to hear what they say.
It is truly my honor to speak to a venerated Titan in person. Please, go ahead. Let me join you both on this journey. Oh, a bygone myth tells of an occasion where Kefali once answered their followers' questions on the peak of the Holy Mountain. Their followers have since believed that scaling this Titan cliff is one way of being with the god.
Hear that? It's not every day that you get to climb a mountain with Circes. You should sing me a hymn of praise.
Titan hymns are beyond me.
Go on ahead. Take this Yanis shortcut, and the long pilgrimage stairway will be waiting for you at its end.
I have to admit, I never expected you to not ask me anything. Not even my motive.
Because I know very well what it is you are after. As the saying goes, a gentleman helps others achieve their goals. I have a feeling that your theory will be validated At the end of this journey, I believe Kefali will not deprive you of your right to ask your question, especially now that you're on the brink of death. You must be closer to Kefali than anyone else. Wouldn't you agree?
I hope things go as you say, then.
Putting a child of justice into a farcical world is bound to turn it upside down. It is my hope that you bring a much-needed change to this world, which is on the brink of destruction.
Go melt it down. Honestly, this is my first time going up to Dawncloud's peak.
What a splendid view. Isn't it about time you recognize the magnificence of us Titan?
Well, I don't see how this place is different from those temples in the city. All they have are magnificent facades. And even though I've come this far, I'm still doubtful about getting useful clues from him.
I must be getting ahead of myself to be expecting to hear something nice from you.
Oh? Haven't you been in my head for some time now? It's high time you get used to how I feel about things. All right, we're just a short hike away from Kefali. No time to waste here.
So the intellectual debate from earlier was too draining for you, huh? If Amphorius gets a new lease on life, you should focus on strengthening your body and stop shirking social interactions.
Not the "you should go touch grass" comment.
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight. Can you make it?
Why? Are you going to carry me up if I were to fall now? I know how far I can go, so just hold your tongue and come along.
Fine then. I guess I won't say any more. I'll just wait till your soul dissipates completely to gain control over your body.
Wait. Who is that? Cersei's? Hey, look at that.
Huh? What should I be looking at?
Am I hallucinating? Or do we even get to see souls when we're close to dying?
Alright, lots to do around here, probably. Oh boy. Can hear the whispers.
Oh? Why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you on this trip, Nias?
Nias? I know I've heard this name somewhere.
Huh. It's unfortunate. The Black Tide destroyed every last inch of my calyx.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios, from their prized ores and molten fire, couldn't escape the fate of destruction?
Hey, Cersei's. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not that I remember. How did you even think up such a strange name?
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no such memory. Could you be hallucinating?
And then...
This is a departed spirit?
And then us... as the, we know who Nias is what I wanted to finish saying, but I got distracted. Spirit. Spirit. Oh wait, there was a butterfly down there. I literally remember seeing it in the cutscene. It was on one of these trees, wasn't it? Maybe I'm hallucinating. Oh, there it is. Oh, this is new. What's this? Oh, it's the platform.
You two again.
I don't really know what we're supposed to be doing with this.
You two again.
Enough about me. Did Kaos ever reply to you?
Well, regrettably.
Seems like the price of becoming a demigod is a lot heftier than we thought.
Okay, so this confirms most likely the theory that this has been like stuck in a cycle of like these guys aren't even the first sets of titans that people ascend, take over a titanhood, and they ascend to demigod status. They become the new titans that keep the world going for a bit, and then the cycle repeats.
Chaos. Demigod. I've never heard of this person. Which titan's authority did he inherit?
Look on the bright side, Nias. Since we've come all this way, I doubt he'd snub his old friends, would he?
Let's just hope we mean as much as the world to him.
Okay, so Chaos became Kefali.
Hey! Are you seeing that same hallucination again?
Yes. It's still you and Nias, but you're now talking about a certain Chaos. I'm guessing he's one of your companions?
Chaos? This name sounds just as strange to me.
Never mind. I think I know what this is about. If things are as I thought, then they aren't hallucinations, but the souls of people.
What? But if those are the souls of the dead, then what am I?
Beats me. For all I know, you're just an illusion I conjured up in my dying moments. Let's just keep going. As long as I take in more sights and hear more stories.
Know your limits. Wander too far among the dead, and even I might not be able to save you.
So probably once you
Fine. If this is indeed as I thought, then this will be very amusing.
that they probably either forget that they used to be demigods, like kind of how they're like, oh, Aglaya has started to lose her humanity over time kind of deal. Like they take on the persona of the demigod or the god that they became the demigod of. And then become corrupted just and turn into Stellaron monsters, very similar to what happened in other areas. I I'm sure there's a puzzle that has to deal with those things, but darned if I know what it is. Alright, so I need it to get here. So if we have 7 moves, so if we move it over 1, 2, it'll drop 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, but I need to be on the other side of it, so that doesn't work. Does it need to drop through 2, maybe? Drop through here and then go around to there, maybe? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Well, maybe if I don't fall in, that would be helpful. No, that doesn't work. I need to be on this side. Okay, how do we do this? Okay. I need to be on the button side if it's gonna drop down. That's the only way it'll work, 'cause I have to be up on this platform. But I always end up being on the wrong side to try and mimic the movements. Alright. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I got quiet. I had to like actually sit there and think. What was I doing? Where was I? I don't know what that one's for, but.
So, we meet again. I'm sure you wouldn't mind a snooping ear.
Can you keep going?
Of course. I'm just... If I knew we had to climb a mountain, I wouldn't have come along with you.
I guess this also counts as one aspect of the world-bearing burden. If Amphorius does have a next life, you may want to get your body in shape.
Keep your sarcasm to yourself.
I'm not getting anything of value from them.
I would sooner throw myself off this cliff and hit rock bottom than exercise even a little. I am Calypso of the eminent Seven Sages, after all. Training would make me no different from those Helcalithist barbarians.
Calypso? She's one of the Seven Sages. A member of the Grove? No, she can't be. I would know her name if she really were one of the Seven Sages. Hey, Circes. Does the name Calypso ring a bell? Circes? Daggone. doesn't matter. I can do this myself.
And then I might have seen why I need, because that guy's there. Oh, and I see one over there too. Okay, so that's why we need the palm to be able to get to those butterflies. Got it. Oh, I didn't even see the coin of whimsy. I was too focused on the butterfly. Oh, there's a coin. Disengage for now. Till I see something else that catches my eye. But yeah, so this definitely, like, confirms the theory that, like, it's been a cycle of people becoming demigods, becoming the gods, by losing their memories of being mortal, to keep the cycle going, essentially.
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods once walked the paths we walk. Alas, all that's left of that warmth is a hazy mirage.
Why are you chanting that too? Not too shabby. Useful for alchemy. We're here. Finally. So, I don't get to ask the Titan my question. But all of you make for a pleasant surprise, nonetheless. Very well then. Let me uncover the truth for myself. Did I still fail to make it in time? So, I'm back here again. This is... I can hear it. I hear it from the depths of the tides. Behind the closed doors of the void world. A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso, are you both here to visit Chaos too?
Castorice?
Yes. And we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Oh, does this mean if they're the old generation, the current generation of gods that we've been, like, you know, taking out to then replace, does that mean that, like, Thanatos disappeared, and if this is Castorice, does that mean that Castorice is Thanatos, potentially?
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area. And besides, we both know Chaos' nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily, much less give up on all that he holds dear. Isn't that so?
And Deliverer is also what they call Phynon, of course.
Yes. I have faith in him.
That reminds me. Why are you making this trip alone, Polixia?
Oh, my sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Everything that I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Circe's question. The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kefali. By doing so, I can answer Circe's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not do that. That isn't important, because another one of my conjectures, one that I have always dreamed of proving, has been proved right this very instant. Fusing a mortal soul with that of a Titan to replace said Titan is not a ludicrous idea after all.
Uh-oh. To Don Hungs, okay.
What are you thinking about?
Just amazed at how this towering tree is Circe's divine body. It's a majestic sight.
Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the Great Tree.
Merely something from the past I won't go into.
Events of the past, huh? I was also a child when I looked up at Circe's. Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars, and their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree, because I would be the closest I can be to the sky at that spot.
You're a sky priest, yet you study at a place that is home to the Reason Titan. That's rather counterintuitive.
Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god. Nothing like Circe's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the Titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphorius is none other than Aquila themselves.
Yes, I didn't count on provoking the ire of the local god.
But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for. It's just, I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side.
Bad luck tends to come in streaks, so don't beat yourself up over it. Besides, Aglaia needs you here to uncover the truth behind what happened to the Grove. Let's just make the most of this trip and keep a lookout for any documents related to the Death Titan. They could be useful to Kalis.
Yeah, there's no rest for the weary, huh? In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters born of the Black Tide will pose no threat to you anyway.
What about you? Will you be alright on your own?
Have you forgotten that you're talking to the chief physician of the Twilight Courtyard? Have more faith in me. I'll be just fine.
The silence in here is near deafening. With the vast amount of knowledge it holds, the Academy is akin to a labyrinth of information. Even the cleverest of scholars would easily lose their way in here. I should gather my thoughts before heading in. The clock is ticking. I should search for clues as I move. Alright, so we are getting close to the 2-hour mark. Let me just see if this is a quick POV change.
Life is as ephemeral as dew on a leaf, and full of worldly strife.
Alright, we are in Amphorius.
Life is as ephemeral as dew on a leaf, and full of worldly strife.
Well, if I can find it, I will be able to tell us.
Life is as ephemeral as dew on a leaf, and full of worldly strife.
Oh goodness, this is a long update. I see what they mean by they're saying like, yes, Jingyuan. That Amphorius is like super plot heavy. Ooh, I'm only on the 3rd part. Oh goodness.
Life is as ephemeral as dew on a leaf, and full of worldly strife.
Yeah, I don't think I can get through that in 10 minutes. Oh, is it not gonna let me teleport? That's so annoying, considering I've been here before. That's gonna make me have to do the entire walk again. No, where am I trying to go? Literally the exact opposite of where I am, of course. Black monsters are twisted in form, and their life has turned to ash together with their souls. It is impossible to figure out their form when they were still alive. These are the remains of the Black Tide monster. It does look different from the Titankin from up close. What's that underneath? A scroll? A recorded debate between venerologists and Neosporus scholars. Most of it is illegible, leaving only fragments of dialogue. We all recall that the state that dared touch the sky, but what were they really? Just blind masses manipulated by ambitious politicians who dared challenge the Titan's authority. A completely meaningless attempt, an absolute mistake. Ha! You venerationists have bowed to the Titans for so long you've forgotten a scholar's true purpose. Making a mistake does not mean the act was meaningless. Even though students new to the Grove understand this, us from basic logic lessons. An entire city-state reduced to ashes proved that the skyship's construction was a mistake. To me, that's precisely the meaning they achieved through sacrifice. Am I hearing this right? Such a statement. Are you converting to venerationalism? No, I'm simply examining the matter from another perspective. Legible content ends here. As I expected, the Grove doesn't forbid discussions about the sky. It's a debate between two scholars about the sky ships. Aglaia also made mention of the ships when she interrogated us, a memory I'd rather forget. I'll hold on to this for now. With any luck, this journey won't leave us empty-handed. That's Hyacinth? Why is she surrounded by so many monsters? As much faith as I have in her, it's probably a good idea to help her out of there.
Really now? This is way more trouble than I could have asked for.
Need a hand?
Or you could sit back and watch.
I can't tell if you're serious or not, but being hard to read isn't without its perks, I suppose.
I'm kidding, Danny. Lend me a hand, pretty please? All right, now let's get him!
I'll overcome the thorns. Tormented doubt, farewell. I will watch over you and guide you on your path.
Show no mercy.
Dreams do come true. Let the show begin! Serenity is before me.
Here, this thunder!
This place is practically in ruins. What happened? There shouldn't be this many monsters here.
The black tide is remarkably quick to detect the light of Amphorius. So or rather, the blessings of the Sky Priest in me, might have unknowingly called them to me. Anyway, never mind that for now. Here, you might want to have a look at this. I found it around here and thought it might be of interest to you.
Well then, enlighten me. What exactly do you mean by examining from another perspective? Simply, you see, when we stand normally, the sky's above. When we stand on our heads, it's below our feet. I don't even want to know what kind of situation inspired you to make such exalted theories. By the way, I have a student who loves to write satirical comedies, and once wrote about a fool who could not figure out a question no matter what. As I said, there's no reasoning with you venerationalists. You're like dromuses, huge yet always gazing downward at the earth, while I want to be the wasp that stings the dromus. What if that state tyrant's defeat simply proved that among all paths to Aquila, the skyship was the wrong one? And Exagrius, you impious blasphemer, mark my words, you will eventually answer to your sacrilege. I doubt your students, or that your young teaching assistant girl, have any idea what a secret research you're truly conducting. And Exagrius, he's the scholar who fused himself with the core flame of reason.
This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaxa was researching the sky. He's never mentioned anything about it.
Finon said, and Exagrius might be opposed to the flame chase journey.
Might is an understatement. Anaxa has never been one to venerate the gods, nor has he ever found it within himself to put any faith in the prophecy. People have come to think of him as a heretic, even in a place as liberal as the Grove. Yet, it is also this very blasphemer that Circe's favors. Fate sure works in mysterious ways.
I picked up a scroll on my way here too. It looks like it may be related to the one you're holding.
Let me have a look.
Hyacinth combines both records together.
By the looks of them, these scrolls are records of two conversations that took place in the same setting.
There's so much I don't know about the Grove. Do you mind if I ask a few questions?
Sure, go ahead. Anaxa often says that every failure brings us one step closer to the truth. Perhaps, to him, the crash of the skyship carries a different interpretation. The firmament is not impenetrable. On the contrary, it was precisely because the skyship represented the first step toward breaking free from the shackles of the earth that it provoked the wrath of the Sky Titan and brought divine punishment upon itself. It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals making up a predominant part of their findings. Discourse about more esoteric subject matters in relation to Aquila dwindled even further after the skyship incident. So much so that even this scroll is completely new to me.
Don't worry about it. We'll just collect everything we can find on the Titans for now. There's something else that's caught my attention, though. This says that Anaxagrius is conducting secret experiment of some sort.
That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to nothing about them. I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove? This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. Cities that desire to learn from the Grove were apparently expected to contribute knowledge of equal value to what they sought. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here.
That doesn't seem like a nice thing to do.
Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits.
Well, if you don't mind, did the Grove ever rob Castum Kermos?
You've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos, so I guess they were spared. There are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Akama for reading after that.
Agreed, this place isn't safe. We should leave as soon as we're done. There are still several more scrolls strewn all over the place. I'll gather them while you put all those texts away. Nothing will be overlooked. A record of the many research topics a Kipper scholar had applied for and the replies from their school's sage about these topics. These are complaint letters from the scholars about Anaxagrius the Blasphemer. There's a thick stack of letters. Based on the dust accumulated in the perfectly intact seals, the complainee did not even bother opening them and just chucked them aside into a corner. This is about Anaxagrius? I should read this. Hyacinth, you should come take a look too.
Ugh, it's so dusty in here. Whoa. Are these all complaints about him? I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society. They're probably all things like that.
Does Anaxagrius hold that much influence?
Why else would they call him the Great Preformer? When Anaxer established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphorius? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn.
An uncanny impersonation. What happened after?
They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholar's allegations, or face expulsion from the Grove. The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creation?
Am I supposed to put myself in Exagrius' shoes and answer then? Based on the history of the Flame Chase journey, humans have the potential to take over the divinity of Titans.
Anaxa said the same thing then. Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it?
That's a serious allegation. Did he really do that?
Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient.
And we have confirmed that in his backstory.
Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kifili, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods? It was only after a brief silence that he answered, I have never denied that Titans are meant to be noble constructs.
What he didn't say, that the Titans are not noble, rings louder in this case.
Yes. I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved, but what's for certain at least is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones.
Given the Grove's meticulous approach to archiving, could there really be such an oversight right under their notes?
It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in this state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. Right?
Uh-huh. These trees, they're like a maze.
This is the place, but where is everything? Materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone. Did the Black Tide destroy it all?
It'd make more sense if Anaxagoras destroyed all of it before he left. No wonder we didn't see any defense mechanisms along the way. Have you ever been here before?
No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking bright as rain, but come out covered in soot with his hair singed. Naturally, no one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact.
These are the materials requested by Anaxagoras. Documents from various fields have been compiled in one place, including Titan creations, the University of Souls, and alchemy doctrine, and so on. Most of the materials look to be within the research domain of Neosporus school of thought. However, a document titled A Study on the Chrysos Heir's Background is mixed within. Tributrian, descendants of the Holy Maiden, Menesta priestly family, Prince of Castron Kennos, Twilight Courtyard, all their ancestry have varying degrees of connection to the divine titans or their divine authorities. Does the golden blood come from priest families or royal bloodlines? I have no such connection, so why am I a Chrysos heir? Castorice has no such connection, but she has been around for a millennium. Where does her power come from? Dragons often appear in the Titan creation myths. Apparently you can use alchemy to refuse human souls with Titan creations, maybe make a more perfect being.
What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our friends in Alchema and me?
This journal contains several intriguing points. From the abyss of fate to Castrum Criminose, I've seen many a Titan creation during my time at Amphorius. Life forms created by Circes can also be found in the Grove, but fusing them with human souls through alchemical means, I can't even begin to imagine. Anaxagoras seems to hold special interest in the divinity coursing through the Chrysos heir's veins, and has even conducted a thorough investigation into the heroes' backgrounds.
Wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the Neosporists have crafted omnipotent medicines capable of curing diseases, it also makes sense that he would conduct research on immortal Chrysos heirs. But now, it seems Anaxa's objective was never to create medicine, but to identify the origin of the golden blood and figure out its inner workings.
Through alchemy, Anaxagoras aims to refine the golden blood in the Chrysos heirs to a degree of purity equal to divinity. This must be what he means by close to true purity, but treating both Titan creations and the human body as materials to be used in alchemy experiments? That's rather extreme.
Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this.
They appear to be incomplete. Previous approach has flaws. Human souls with Titan creation does not purify golden blood. Even pure Titan creations are contaminants to the Chrysos heir's golden blood. Soul fusion between humans and creations merely repair impurities of the soul or maintain a connection to dying souls. While creation myths tell us the Chrysos heirs and other creations were all made by Titans, their nature differs fundamentally. Titan creations are no intermediate product of an alchemical process. The Chrysos heirs are closer to the Titans than the creations. In other words, I should not have considered Titan creations equal to Chrysos heirs. The hypothesis I should have focused on is the one pointed towards the Titans themselves. Such rare chances to study Titans demand a meticulous selection of research subjects. Living Titans prove impossible to restrain, and dead Titans offer no insights worth pursuing. But dying Titans, they are the perfect research subjects. Only by understanding the fundamentals of creation can we ensure perfection at the moment of everything's birth. Through my own hands, I will melt a Titan and reach the true essence of their soul.
My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation.
Do you mean he's trying to reconstruct human souls alchemically?
Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something.
What's wrong?
Do you remember when the Black Tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Circe's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process.
But Circes took over his body and resurrected him, which led to the situation we're in now.
That's right. But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident,
What do you mean?
Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the black tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done?
I'd put my theories to the test, no matter the cost.
Exactly. When the black tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame.
Did he succeed?
No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circes would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing.
Could he have taken them for other purposes?
Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now. No. No way.
To conceive an entity of perfection, one must first understand the principles of creation. If Anaxa is in Akama now, then that means...
He's after Kefali.
Dun dun!
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here for you. Much like how the sky above the Holy City is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
And they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we're different. We've already walked out of the firelit cave of ignorance. We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas, only to burn them to ashes when I open my eyes in the day.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over a hypothesis that cannot even be proven in the first place.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity, you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as Adromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just as I see it. Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And where there is an end, there must also be a beginning. How then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No. I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaxa, I'm here. His life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end, and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what I need.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and his survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is, as I've mentioned earlier, the answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now, but that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember, because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
Huh? Oh, that's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world. So who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness? Yet you have no idea who she is. The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that, but it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
In the meantime,
I have news from Hyacinth and Danheng. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kainis is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods. Become the next challenge you ought to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Preposterous! The Christos-heirs only have their standing because of the Council of Elders! How dare they trample over it!
wow, those people are shooting daggers with their eyes.
It's been a while.
Hello, Oleg.
That's fine. I recognize you. The young lord has nothing but good words about your courage.
It has indeed been some time, Lord Kratoros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh. Keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for Kainis. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night?
Hurrah, it's Akron. Someone's coming to save us.
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious Kainis has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the Council.
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Crateros.
Alright, we are back to him. Alright, and we will call it a day there. Thank you all so much for popping by. We will be back later. This does seem to be a pretty story-heavy section. Trying to get all of these done. But we will see. Hopefully we can get it done in a timely manner and we won't be scrambling to get this guy done right before it ends, but we'll have to see. So, I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Get some good sleep. Try to relax. I know that's pretty difficult, but do your best. Get like one thing accomplished and then call it a week. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!